And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time.
Woman threatens husband with divorce and he instantly submits to her. What a simp. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. Let's get into it.
I have been with my husband for almost 20 years, but about 3 years ago, I was strongly considering divorce.
Just like a woman.
And I want to talk to you about why. So I'm going to tell you the story of the day where I thought to myself, maybe I don't want to do this anymore. My husband and I had 4 kids. We both worked full time. We had been together for 16 years at this point. We've been together since high school.
16 years.
And on paper,
since high school.
I have an amazing husband. He is incredibly supportive. He's kind. He's loyal. He's a great dad. He's very hands-on. He's an active participant. He's always present. Like, on paper, what else could I ask for? But in reality, my experience is very similar to the experience of other women. I had this amazing husband who on paper was great, but I was incredibly frustrated and burnt out from our marriage and from motherhood. Because what happens to so many of us is that we marry these amazing men and we have amazing relationships and then we have kids. And when we have kids, women tend to carry a disproportionate amount of the work in the home, the work of raising kids, and the mental load.
And usually that balances out because he's contributing more financially. That's almost always how it goes. He takes care of the majority of the finances and she stays at home with the kids. Even if she is working, I can almost guarantee you she's not making as much money as he is. And he's probably working longer hours. He's at work longer than you are. So you are automatically at home more. So of course you're gonna have to take care of the children. This is like humanity 101. But of course she wants more. So let's figure out what it is.
And that is exactly what happened to us. About 3 months after my 4th baby was born, I remember looking at my husband and saying, I need more. I need you to do more. I am exhausted. I am in charge of everyone and everything in this house. Every night when we cook dinner, you ask me what to make. Every day when you drop off the kids at daycare, you ask me what they need in their backpacks. I am the project manager of this home and I need you to do more.
So let's indulge this part just a little bit. This is really about having defined roles within your relationship. It is. Because these things really can be simplified. They can be so much easier. All you need is just having defined roles. That's it. So say her job is to pack the kids' lunch every single day. He never takes part in that. So then there's no conversation, no deliberation that needs to happen about what the kids are eating. It's her job. It's totally on her shoulders. She sorts it out. And same thing for dinner. If it's her job, she totally figures it out. That's the way I have it set up in my relationship. My woman takes care of the entire menu. I don't even have to think about it. But if there is something I want, I request that from her. So having these well-defined roles within your relationship help significantly because you're not having to deal with this constant deliberation back and forth on just mundane everyday BS. You're saving yourself a lot of headache.
And he looked at me and he said, okay, just tell me what to do. Right? Jesus. Every woman has heard this. Just tell me what to do and I'll do it. And I said, okay, something that would make my life easier is if in the mornings when I came downstairs with the 4 kids, because I do mornings by myself, the dishwasher was emptied, the dishes were put away, and the trash was taken out. That would make my life so much easier because when I've got the 4 kids running around and the baby crying, I can't be looking for their favorite water bottle in the dishwasher. And he said, yeah, of course. What? Yeah, I'll do that. That's no problem. And so, of course, he does it. But then I have to remind him, and then he forgets, and then I have to remind him again. And there was this one morning where I woke up.
Jesus Christ.
And I went to put something in the trash, and it was overflowing. And I went to get my son's water bottle, and it was in the dishwasher with all the other clean dishes. And I felt so disrespected and unseen and unvalued at that point in time. And I remember texting my husband being like, what happened? Like, why didn't you do this? And he said, sorry, I was running late for work. And I remember thinking, oh my God, he doesn't see me. Because what he's done has now made me late for work.
Okay, bro. So here's the thing. This woman wears the pants in the relationship. 100% she does. She is putting the rules on him. She's telling him what to do. And he is just sitting there like a good little beta Bob. Yes, honey, I'll do whatever you want. You need to go spend time on a girl's night out and spend time with the Chads. Yes, I totally understand, baby. And here's the thing. When you constantly comply with whatever your woman wants, you just totally bend to her will completely. She loses respect for you. she loses respect for you. You were supposed to be the strong core of the family. You were supposed to be the one that is dictating terms, laying the law in the family home, because that provides an emotional calm, provides structure to the home. Because when you have it flipped around, when you have a woman leading the home, you have situations exactly like this. She's super stressed out, doesn't want to keep making decisions. She's back and forth about what she needs to do, and it's overall just much more chaotic. Because when a woman is leading the home, you're leaning on emotions, okay? But when a man is leading the home, you're leaning on emotional stability, okay? You're leaning on structure. You're leaning on logic.
My husband and I spend $70,000 a year on childcare, and people want to know, how do we afford it? Specifically, what do we do for work? How are we able to pay that much money for childcare? And here's the thing, I will tell you what we do, because a lot of people are wondering, are you working in medicine? Are you in tech? Are you lawyers? What are you doing to earn enough money to pay for that? But we live in Massachusetts, which is a very high cost of living area, which means our salaries are relative to that cost of living. We also have the highest childcare costs in the country. So our childcare costs are incredibly expensive. It is very difficult to afford childcare here in Massachusetts. My husband is a blue collar worker. He is a lineman, which means he fixes electricity on utility poles. It is a very dangerous job. He gets paid like a base salary, and then everything is hourly overtime after that. Like, most of his pay comes from overtime. So he's trading his time for money. And that is how we budget for childcare. We'll say, how much overtime do you have to work to be able to pay for this amount of the childcare budget? And on average, he's working like between 400 and 600 hours of overtime a year, I think. The numbers change every single year based on the weather and the storms, etc. But he works a ton of overtime. I work from home in a remote position for a startup in e-commerce.
What?
I work from home in a remote position for a startup in e-commerce. I am in operations management. I am lucky because I've worked for the same team for about 10 years. And so I make a little over $100,000 a year.
So the other thing is, she's complaining about missing work when she does remote work. She lives at home. Meanwhile, he's busting his ass out in the heat, laying electrical lines all day. Just notice how there's just barely any appreciation for what he's doing. It's all just about, oh, how is she feeling? How am I doing? I feel slightly disrespected. I'm about to nuke this whole family. Oh, lordy, dude.
And he doesn't care about that. He doesn't care about the impact on me. And he doesn't see how every single thing in our home happens because I ask him to do it, or because I do it myself, or because I planned and organized it. The diaper bag is full because I filled it, right? I put the wipes in there. And I felt so frustrated. And I remember thinking, what's the point? What's the point of doing this with someone else? I might as well just do it alone. And it's not because my husband didn't love me or he did anything to me. And it's not because I didn't love him, but because I felt so taken advantage of in our relationship.
A lot of this, bro, this can be solved so easily. Again, like I mentioned before, but with the well-defined roles, if it was just designated as her job, okay, you fill the diaper bag, you plan the kids' meals, you plan the family meals, then boom, it's just settled. There's no guesswork. You don't have to constantly wonder and sit in the chaos. Oh, do we have diaper bags? What do we have for lunch, and what do we have for dinner, and who's gonna drop off the kids? And if you have well-defined roles, it's simplified. All of these problems get erased like that.
And this dynamic, it doesn't happen by accident, right? It's not like my husband did it to me, but we've been raised in this society that tells men and women who they should be in marriages and what it looks like to be a good mom versus a good dad. And we know the bar for moms is way up here and the bar for dads is way down here. And we fell into these norms. We fell into these roles in our family, despite the fact that we never wanted to. And I'm lucky, and I say lucky because I have a partner who I know loves me and wants me to be happy, and was willing and able to change. And so we did the work to figure out what equity looked like in our relationship.
Okay, bro, here's the thing. Because all of this stuff, like, it sounds really, really good, right? Like, oh, we're working on a relationship together. We really needed to work on it. But almost always what that means, what that entire sentence structure that she just put together, almost always what it means, the end result is that the man has to do more. That's what the end result is, almost 100% of the time. And here's the thing, bro. The man in this situation, he has no spine. He has no backbone, okay? He is totally submitted to his wife, completely. She's wearing the pants, she's the dominant, she's the leader in the household, and he's just bending to her will over and over. But I can basically guarantee you, if this guy was a strong, masculine man who would lead his home, he would put up this entire bullet point structure that the entire family follows, and everything will be much more relaxed, much more consistent because everyone has a role and they know how to do their role. This is really just the typical equal relationship. Really just the typical beta Bob relationship. Like, let's be real. All right, divorce him, then what? Does she really think she'll find another man who'll do more for a single mom than he did? Some people can't see past their own nose. Yeah, exactly, bro. A man will give up his happiness for his family, but a woman will give up her family for her own happiness. There's definitely some truth in that, man. I mean, just look at this situation. She was so close to ending her entire family, nuking the family, just because she was a little burnt out over the whole thing. The modern woman summed up perfectly. Yeah, exactly. And this is the thing, when you constantly bend to a woman's will, you know, this sounds really, really good on paper. Oh, baby, I want you to be so happy. I'll give you whatever you want. You can have all the bags, all the clothes, the biggest house, the biggest car. You know, whatever it is that you constantly bend to her will about. But here's the thing, man. What women really want, and again, I'm gonna make all the feminists rage with this one, okay? What women really want is a strong man that provides her structure in her life, okay? They want a man that will tell them no. And why do they want that? Why do they want the man that will tell them no? Because when you tell her no, what is that actually doing, okay? It's providing structure and boundaries, and this makes women feel safe. She feels safe. She knows that she can rely on you not to bend to a woman's will, okay? There's an old quote, know how to make a woman miserable, give her everything she wants. Yep, and that sums up this whole clip, bro. That was an interesting one. Be sure to leave your comments below. Now let's get on with the show.
I'm going to a date at a bar like this.
Okay.
I look like someone's grandmother. I look like someone's grandmother, but like, I didn't have any other options today. Okay, I don't know. There's just nothing I can do right now. This is the look. Bye.
I mean, dude, does she want to like show more skin or something? Does she want to dress like a pay-to-play woman? Personally, I don't see an issue with this. So I'm actually in Turkey right now. That's why the background changed again. I'm in Istanbul specifically. And in Turkey, the Islamic religion is quite pronounced here. So it's fairly common to see women in hijab or full-on burqas where they are completely head to toe covered. And seeing that has been very interesting, especially just comparing it to the West, because I compare everything to the West like it is back home. And you know, when you're walking around basically any city in America, you will see women that are basically wearing nothing. You wouldn't be able to tell the difference between that woman and a pay-to-play woman. Truly, you wouldn't be able to tell. And comparing that to Turkey or just Muslim women, where they dress very modestly, okay? They basically don't show any skin. The thing is, bro, growing up in America, you get desensitized to how degenerate it is. Just genuinely straight up. Until you actually get out and you visit other cultures, you don't really realize how sexualized the Western societies are. They are maxed out, truly. Or just the average woman genuinely dresses like a pay-to-play woman. They do. So coming here and seeing that has been a breath of fresh air in a lot of ways, where you see women that are dressed modestly, where they actually respect themselves. They don't want to just show off their bodies to random men on the streets. It's genuinely so much more respectable. By the way, follow me on Instagram at GriffinMind, and you guys will be able to see all the stuff I'm doing in Turkey. So be sure to follow me over there at GriffinMind.
I truly don't know how much more I can take from these men on dating apps. You're 32 years old, and you are looking for short-term relationship, but open to long-term. So you're open to long-term. This is the best part. Looking for fun, casual dates and maybe something serious with the right person. Babe, I fear that just might be the definition of dating. Is that not just like what dating is going on dates and then maybe if it's the right person, having a long-term relationship? That's like saying, hey, I'm here to play baseball. I'm open to maybe throwing or catching a ball. Like, that's just playing the game. Again, you're over 30 years old and you can't just say you're looking for a relationship. You can't just say, no, like I'm looking for long-term. No, you have to be cool. Looking for short, but you're open to long if it's the right person. That is dating. I need to get off of these apps.
That is exactly what the guy said. He is open to dating and looking for a relationship, potentially. But she's complaining that he's open to looking for a relationship on a dating app. What? The logic is not logicking. I can almost guarantee you, we don't see this guy's profile picture or anything like that. but I can just tell you that this guy is unattractive. That's what it is. And she just doesn't like this guy, so she is being brutally picky with his dating profile. Yikes, bro. What the? Oh, no.
So I really thought I had seen it all.
Oh, no.
But seriously, why are you getting married?
God.
Like, why? Wait, why are you getting married? It just doesn't seem like, call me crazy, but it just doesn't seem like you are the type that wants to, like, settle down. Call me crazy. I don't know. Just thought.
That's crazy, man. That is absolutely wild. This woman is getting married and she showed herself to camera in front of the entire team, in front of all the bridesmaids and groomsmen and all that. And this guy's just lined up to marry her. And this is what I'm talking about with the simp epidemic. Because this woman is obviously not marriage material. And this guy sees that and he's like, yes, this is perfect. This is the wifey material. This is on you, bro. This is so obviously not a good idea. This is not a good woman that you should put a ring on. But of course, he's going to go through the divorce machine when she inevitably cheats on him. And it's a big ol' yikes. L for you, bro.
A bride canceled her wedding and dumped her fiancé after guests refused to pay an entrance fee of $1,500 each. She explained her decision in a lengthy Facebook post, and boy was this Facebook post a ride. Woman and her ex-fiancé had saved up $1,500 for the wedding, but because their love was like a fairy tale, they wanted an extravagant blowout wedding. She wanted to be a Kardashian for a day. Ugh. They were torn between two wedding venues, but a psychic pushed them to choose a more expensive venue in Aruba that would cost around $6,000. So this couple requested that each guest give them $1,500 in cash to pay off their wedding. Because how could they have their dream wedding without proper funding? The bride didn't think this was out of line at all. The maid of honor and then slowly the rest of the bridal party dropped out of this wedding, and this woman refused to give anyone a refund. According to The Knot, the average spent on a wedding gift is about $160, not $1,500 in cash to cover an extravagant dream wedding. Guests should give gifts in the price range they can afford and should not feel pressured to spend beyond their means. What would you do if you were invited to a wedding with an entrance fee?
Not go. That's what I would do. Yeah, she is correct. She is living in a fairy tale because she is not living in the real world whatsoever. This is a big ol' yikes, my dude.
Watch this. I have been married for 51 years.
Okay.
Got 2 sons, 42 and 40. Okay. Needed to take a test to see if any of us had a kidney good enough for my brother. Found out something interesting. They ain't my kids. There's somebody else's.
Damn.
Of course, the only good thing is, I know it's not my fault. I do wish I knew who the real fathers were. She couldn't tell me. I'd probably forgiven her.
Damn, bro. 51 years. Wow. This is really the kind of stuff that makes you think, damn. Maybe it would have been better for this guy if he didn't know the truth. Truly, bro, what does he have? Just a few more years? Man, maybe it would have been better for him to just live in that delusion a little bit longer. Honestly, I just don't know how you get over something like that. Basically, his entire life was a lie. This even correlates with guys like, you know, waking up to the red pill knowledge very late in life, where they basically realize that they've been this like beta pay pig their entire life. They got married when she was 30 years old. She was ready to settle down. She was done with her past. And now she settled down with the beta Bob. And then 50 years later, he stumbles across a channel like mine or the many others. And they realize like, damn, I can't go back. I've been this like beta provider my entire life to a woman that has a past. It really almost makes you wonder, maybe it's better for some guys to stay plugged in.
I want an actual child of my own that I could say that is really my own.
I mean, that's valid, but at this point, the decision has been made. And
what you mean the decision has been made? Why wouldn't you talk to me about it first? I mean, why would you just up and do it?
I don't even have a ring on my finger, so it's just like, what's the point in that? I feel like
you don't got a ring on your finger, but you in this house though.
Okay, and?
What you mean? What's going on?
I mean, it's just
yes, I could be a great father, but what's going on?
a rash decision, but the decision is final, and I feel good with what I did. Like, don't make me feel bad or try to.
Well, why wouldn't you talk to the person you're supposed to be spending your life with?
I mean, it was just
about a situation that permanent.
I mean, I've been talking to like family members, and I already have children. I know I don't want to have any more.
But I don't have a child, so you genuinely just thinking about yourself.
I mean,
is what you're telling me.
That's how you feel. So that's
how it feel. I'm telling you how it is.
That's like we can barely. I'm trying to make ends meet with my situation right now.
To make ends meet.
It just doesn't make sense.
We are a team. We are a collective. But why wouldn't you actually talk to me about something that permanent?
We're talking about it now.
No, this is what? No, hold on. You talking about it now?
Decision to make.
No.
Decision to make. You can either stay or you can leave.
Oh, I'm definitely leaving.
All right.
So she got her tubes tied without telling her man, who wants more children. This is such a yikes, man. At least he was walking away. He said that right at the end, as he absolutely should. This is so inconsiderate of this man. Completely inconsiderate. Self-interested, doesn't care at all what he thinks or has to say. The thing is, we don't know if this guy has kids or not, but we do know that she has kids, okay? So this guy is entering into another family. That's what he's doing. He's entering into another man's family, essentially. And this guy is expected to take care of her children and her without getting his own genetic legacy to continue. That is the deal that she is not only proposing, but has enforced on this guy. She is not even making it an option to have another child, to continue this man's genetic legacy. Nope. Not a chance. Huge, massive yikes, and this guy should absolutely have walked away.
If I were to take you on a first date, how much would you want me to spend?
Wait for it. This will surprise some of you.
Less than $120.
That's right. And let's hear the common sense reasons why that is.
Why is $120 the max?
Because I don't really need anything. I can eat at a Cheesecake Factory, Chili's. I can eat anywhere. Like, it's just food. Like, you could go to a taco spot, a food truck, and still have an amazing day. It's just about the connection and getting to know the person. Money shouldn't be a thing when you're going out to eat. You know, you could use that for something else.
Now, that is absolutely true.
And steak is not going to make me fall in love with you or be more interested in you. Absolutely not.
Exactly.
What's going to make you fall in love then?
The way he acts, the way he treats, if he's opening the door, how he carries himself, how masculine he is, the way he dresses.
She is not wrong.
I can almost guarantee you this woman comes from like Cuba or Colombia or something like that. That is not an American mindset right there at all. I would bet that she's like a second generation immigrant, something like that, because she actually has values that she's looking for.
In the comment says that you're worth $350 million.
Not exactly that one, but yeah.
And the video went on for another like 20, 30 seconds with just DMs from the night before, ever since he went on that podcast. If you have a lot of money, you will have a lot of them.
You put work into the real world, okay? You put work into yourself and the women will naturally come, bro. They naturally will. Just trust me, man. You will notice. The higher you go on your path, the higher you get up in life, more and more women will just find themselves around you. Women sniff out success like bloodhounds, bro. I swear.
How do I forgive and move forward after my wife and one of my best friends had over a year-long affair behind my back? And I mean, the second part of that is it even possible for me to move forward?
Tell me about it.
Last August, I got on her laptop and found that she had been on a paternity test website. Our daughter just turned 1. And questioned her about it and ended up finding out it was one of my best friends who was also my boss.
Whoa.
He was in our wedding. I left my previous job for him.
What do you do?
A job that I'm a firefighter.
Does that guy still have his job?
Let's just say he left.
Good.
After that.
The research is pretty clear that somebody that lacks that type of integrity at home also lacks that type of integrity at work. And you're a firefighter. I don't want a piece of like that out making sure my community is safe, because that sucker's going to cut corners. And some innocent bystander's gonna die.
That is absolutely wild. The thing is, man, there's really not much else you can do. I mean, the obvious thing is never talk to this woman again, never talk to your friend again. And honestly, you don't really have a choice. You have to move forward. There is no real choice that needs to be made. Mainly what you have to decide is, how are you going to frame this? How are you going to learn from this situation? And that's the thing with very difficult situations in life, actually. It's really just figuring out how you can learn from it and how can you frame it where it's actually an overall positive in your life. So a situation like this man got betrayed. He got betrayed by one of his best friends and his wife. And really all you can take away from this is that you lost 2 people that are not worth your time. You lost 2 people that are dishonest. You lost 2 people that are going to stab you in the back. So now your life can be better without them, without their dishonesty. And really, that's all you can do. You can just change your frame of thinking around situations. Because what happened, happened. And all you can control is how you react to it. That's what you can do.
What is the most painful thing anyone has ever said to you?
It was definitely what my ex said after we had our closure moment. She said that I was the person that got her out of her depression and got her outside. And then the moment that she realized she had to do that for me, she couldn't, and so she left.
So I have a question for men that are using online dating apps. Like, if you like somebody and they match with you, do you talk to them? Because I have 10, 15 dudes just hanging out that I've matched with, but they haven't said anything to me. I don't get it. If I matched with someone that I liked first, it's so I can talk to them and it's exciting and I message them. But men don't seem to do that.
This is really simple. A lot of guys have adopted a very specific strategy on dating apps, okay? And this strategy is saying yes to every single woman and waiting to get a match. That's what it is. Because the odds are so against your favor. Guys just swipe right over and over and over and over and over until they finally have whatever matches they have. And the thing is, bro, they were just not that happy. Not that happy with the matches they got. That's what it is. That's what it is.
Please teach your sons that they do not have to tolerate a bad attitude, bad behavior, and entitlement from a poorly raised girl. Absolutely not. I'm definitely teaching this to my sons. I say it all the time. You can leave.
My girlfriend cheated on me with a guy, got pregnant, and tried to convince me that the baby was mine.
I don't think you have the facilities for that, big man.
Red flag behavior if a guy is fixated on body count.
And why is that a red flag?
Past history actually has nothing to do with loyalty, commitment, trust.
And whether some individuals like this or not, it actually does say a lot about a person, especially in regards to their past choices and some of their decision making.
The guy is hardcore fixated on body count. That typically indicates there's insecurity, wanting to be in control, and outdated beliefs.
I wonder, as it does indicate quite a lot about a person's character.
And none of that actually contributes or makes for a healthy long-term relationship. Whereas confident and emotionally mature men care about who you are now, not what was going on in your past.
Except oftentimes a person's past behavior is very predictive of their future behavior. Exactly. And people are allowed to have preferences. You don't have to like it. But trying to shame someone by saying that they're not confident and immature is not the way to go about it.
Just notice the tactics that they use every single time, bro. Okay? This is like the baseline of how women manipulate men, okay? In order to move men to a specific mindset, what does she do? She shames you, okay? This is a huge, huge one, and we've seen this 100 bazillion times, okay? You don't like your girl going out to the clubs? You're insecure. You don't like your girl having an extensive past? You're insecure. You don't like your girlfriend hanging out with her ex? You're insecure. When all of these things that she's doing do not bode well for a long-term relationship. They just don't. So in her mind, I can almost guarantee you, all of these things, there's nothing wrong with them. The nightclubs, the ex, the guy friends, whatever it is. When all of these things are a significant risk to potentially end your relationship. Being with a woman that has an extensive past, okay, she can't emotionally bond to you nearly as easily. She's out drinking at the clubs around random guys that are all only looking for one thing. Oh yeah, that's gonna end well. Hanging around an ex-boyfriend who she already had a past with. Oh yeah, that's a great idea. It's just so crazy, man. They are shaming men for having any standards whatsoever. That's what it is. They don't want men to have any standards, period. And they don't want these men to have standards so that man will accept a lower quality woman. That's what it is, okay? It's self-serving a lot of the time, okay? The reason why she is saying it's a red flag if a guy cares about body count It's because she has a body count. That's why. But of course, she knows the higher value guys, the guys that she's actually interested in, care about women that have a body count. So what does she do to try and bring this guy down to her level? She shames him. She shames him to try and bring him down, to try and bring down his standards. What? Oh my, what? You can't handle a woman with 58 guys in her past? Wow, you're insecure. You're not a strong man. And this is how it always goes, bro. Pay attention. It's how it always goes. Like the video, subscribe, stay on the path of progress. I'll see you later. By the way, follow me on Instagram at GriffinMind, and you guys will be able to see all the stuff I'm doing in Turkey. So be sure to follow me over there at GriffinMind.